Good evening, everyone. This is Diana Baldi, the president of the Phoenixville Area Time Bank. And you might know we were planning an event Friday night to introduce you to our new administrative manager, David Thompson. We're substituting with a virtual introduction of David. And so, without further ado, David, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Yes, thank you, Diana, for introducing me. Yes, my name is David Thompson. Very excited to be jumping on board with the Time Bank. Moved to Phoenixville a couple years ago, heard about the organization, was in the process of finishing up grad school, and was looking for something else to do, and this opportunity popped up late last year, and had some really good conversations with Diana, other members of the board, and the current coordinator, Margot, and I'm very excited to get involved. And it's been about 3 weeks. I've been on the job, and it's been a good time to just getting some training. Margot has been doing is doing a lot of the work the last since the founding, pretty much, of the organization. So it's good to be coming alongside of her and the board to take the time bank to the next level.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about you, where you grew up, and what your life's been like.
Yeah, to give you the short bio, I grew up in Downingtown, very similar to Phoenixville, very much a family neighborhood vibe. It's what me and my wife fell in love with Phoenixville and wanted to raise a family in Phoenixville. Um, Prior to that, I spent 6 years in the military in the Army. I was a journalist. I enjoyed telling the stories of soldiers and other service members across all branches. But it was time to come home and settle down. When I met my wife, I got my undergrad in teaching. I did spend some time in teaching, and then really wanted to get more into more professional settings outside of the classroom environment. I think really ultimately to try and really validate my interest in education and learning, to really get outside of the box of education. And so, yeah, just through some travels through life, I decided to enter back into grad school and kind of tap into my public affairs roots in the military, and through some professional opportunities, really grown my administrative capacity and skill set over the last several years, and I'm really excited to be jumping on board with the Time Bank and using those skill sets for this organization.
So you've got a master's as well, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. One of the biggest holes for me when I moved into Phoenix, so actually Rodney Platt, he's on the board. He's one of the first people I met in Phoenixville, and he invited me out. And but at the time, I was just starting grad school, and things were pretty crazy. We were having our first son, and so yeah, I finished up grad school this past. Wow, it's crazy. It'll be almost a year now. I graduated from Villanova with a Master's of Public Administration. It was a tremendously rewarding program, very challenging. Honestly, was not anticipating that kind of challenge, but I was really, really excited to go through that process and come out a better professional for sure.
Great. And how long have you been in Phoenixville now?
Yeah, we moved here. I was getting my dates mixed up now with kids, but I think it was the end of 17 we moved here, so we were going on I don't know, it was end of 16 or 17. Yeah, so we've been here about 3 years. Yeah, we love it. Really got invested in the community right away. Again, going to grad school, wanting to really, like I said, most of my local government experience and nonprofit experience was in the military, and so coming out of that, I really wanted to get involved in local government. And so, yeah, when I moved to Phoenixville, started grad school, I also jumped on Phoenixville's Planning Commission, and really, again, between that and some other professional opportunities with the grad school, really took my professional, just my mindset to a whole new level, which is really exciting for me as a kind of a lifelong learner.
What has your onboarding covered so far?
Just give you a kind of creative answer. Being a writer, understanding your setting and the plot and where you're at. So uh, really understanding the time and place that you're at. And I think I'm not saying that I know this yet, but I'm figuring out kind of the time and place where the time bank is trying to go. Um, So really trying to find that place is where is my place, and the time where the time bank is my understanding and kind of the strategic focus of the organization is to grow and our capacity to do more. So yeah, I think we're trying to just really, I wouldn't say shift our narrative, our focus or whatever, but I think it will require us to do some new and different things as an organization. But that said, there's kind of a new mission, and so based on kind of where the time bank is at right now, and its time and place in history, and also where they want to be, I'm feeling really excited to kind of settle into that place and kind of understanding where the organization is at and where everyone wants to go. And the other part is too just a lot of like background administrative stuff, things that you wouldn't think about. This takes so much time. It's the email functions, all the spreadsheets, the databases, Community Weaver, which is what everyone uses to actually record offers and requests and exchanges. There's a lot. So Margot has championed a lot of this stuff in the background for a very long time, and I hope to continue to do that for moving forward.
At the end of February, we had a retreat with 20 members of the time bank, and they got a chance to interrogate David with what, 3 truths and a lie.
Yeah, I think it was two truths and one lie. Yeah,
two truths and a lie. And so we learned that you had a first date with your wife, your current wife, in Haiti.
That's correct. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I pursued. We had met prior, and stateside, and I guess I was still a little rough around the edges in the military. But once she left, she's a tremendous person. She decided to go down to Haiti as part of the earthquake disaster relief back in 2010. And so when she got down there, I guess she decided she missed me, and then kind of the rest is history. I wound up there that summer, and we had our first date in Haiti.
Yeah, and so what was the other truth?
The other truth was, I coached football on an Indian reservation, which was very true. Yeah, my first year out of college, I got my teaching degree at Westchester University, and I wound up on an Indian reservation in Crown Point, New Mexico. It's up near the Four Corners area, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Utah. And yeah, I was 7,000 feet up in a high altitude desert with 3,000 Navajo, and they love to play football. And so I got a chance to coach football, and the really honoring thing too. I mean, coming from the military, and I came from a struggling background. I have a lot of privilege in other ways, and really being able to just inspire these kids was awesome. They were able to make the state playoffs for the first time in 10 years, and I was a defensive coordinator. We had a very fun time on defense, and we got a ride on out of the neighborhood on our first playoff game in 10 years on a fire truck, and all the schools were out and waving us on. So it was cool, man, because in towns like that where kids, sad reality is a lot of those kids aren't going to end up many places because it's hard to leave family, and the only opportunities you have are sometimes hundreds of miles away. And so it was cool to have that moment with those kids, that they had something they could always have forever.
Great. Well, I'm really glad to hear about that you broke the 10-year drought there.
Yeah, it was awesome. We got our butts kicked in the playoff game, but it was all good. They got a chance to play one more game. So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So then
Mm-hmm.
so from
Absolutely.
From the retreat, was there anything else that popped out for you?
Well, yeah, I guess in that regard, and that's kind of this. We don't have to go down this rabbit hole yet, but as far as how growing the organization and how that is done strategically, but the point you talk about as far as getting stories told, yes, I'm very interested in that. We definitely want to hear those, and I think we're working to improve people's ability to submit these stories. So I think we're going to try and get a link on the Community Weaver website and on the other Time Bank website. We'll send out notification when that happens, so you'll be able to just fill out a form and kind of let us know, and we'll be able to follow up with and get these stories out there. Because I think the two things that are really sticking out to me about the success of the organization is really people's interests, and there's a lot of phenomenal interests, and some of them are very different interests, and some of them come together very well. And to me, the success of the organization is driving people towards their interests, or really tapping into their interests, and really get them excited about sharing their interests or receiving someone else's interest, or having their own interest fulfilled by someone else. So I think really focusing on what really drives people and what really makes them interested in basically offering community service to their neighbor, I think really needs to be a core focus of where we're headed. And then the other piece too is the human interest piece. I mean, it's kind of like a terrible time to have this conversation, but in some ways it's the best time to have the conversation around this whole kind of pandemic. Is we need our neighbors more than ever, and I think we are really realizing this more than ever. And I know we are taking precautions currently, which is very wise, and may have to for an extended period of time, over several months, we don't know. But that said, I think we're realizing more than ever, as everyone's kind of laying low a little bit, I think we're realizing the importance of where am I getting my goods from? Where could I get something if I needed a little more of something? I saw a post from some other local time banks that there were people offering to go pick up groceries for people who couldn't, because in all honesty, yeah, there's could be elderly people, seniors, that either A, can't make it out to the grocery store, or they get there, they can't get what they need. And so there's some real needs in our community right now. And also doing some part-time work for some local businesses in town myself. They're all shuttering their doors or working on very temporary kind of skeleton hours and skeleton crew right now, because they can't afford it. And so there's going to be some real needs in our community moving forward. And so the whole human interest piece, I think we need to put either a voice to a face, or however it works, or to really build that trust and build that bond, and saying, well, that person is my neighbor. They have some really unique interests. They have a lot to offer. They do have some needs, and wow, it's really cool to hear their story. And I would love to just follow up with them and get more excited about it. And so I just, all that to say, I've really, being in the military for 6 years and doing the whole communication and public affairs piece, there's nothing more important than the power of media. And in so many ways, I think media is garbage. Just the fact that it's just people, it's not well thought out. It's just too grab and go. But if we can do it intelligently, you can be really impactful with what you're saying, and how you can really reach people.
Yeah. Well, and I'm thinking back to a need that you're experiencing personally, is that with the schools and daycares closed,
Yeah.
there's a lot of parents that are going, they didn't know they were homeschooling. Like
Yeah.
they're dropped into homeschooling. And so this
Yeah.
idea of sharing, whether it's websites with virtual tours of a zoo, but I've seen quite a number of things going around of people helping each other and
Yeah.
in that way as well. So with that, so you have two boys, is that correct?
Yeah. I got my big boy is John. He's gonna be 3 in June. He's getting big already, and then we just had our second last October. She's about 6 months, Jonah. So John and Jonah are doing well, and yeah, we're enjoying life as a young family for sure, amongst the craziness.
And your wife's name is Anne?
Is Ann? Yeah, she's the awesome one. Yeah, she's the mom, she's the wife, she's the superhero. So yeah.
And how long have you been married?
We've been married. This is terrible. Yeah, we were gonna get a nice private dinner at our house from one of my chef buddies in town, and obviously that's not happening anymore. We're about to celebrate our 7th anniversary on Monday. So.
Well, happy anniversary to you.
Yeah. So March is a good month. My wife's birthday is in March. Her anniversary is in March. So yeah, March is a fun, busy month. And but yeah, we'll get through it. We'll enjoy our anniversary in other ways. So besides private dining.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think surrounding people's interests, I I think as we become more interested and more engaged in our community, naturally you're going to find people who like the same things as you. We're going to increase our membership. So if you're not already a member, maybe you're taking steps to become a member, which is exciting. And so really coming up with new ways to really reach our current and future members. And so we're really excited to have a new office space right by the hospital. We co-share the space with the Bookworm and some other nonprofits. But it's really a fantastic space to have any sort of one-on-one discussions or any sort of small meetings and gatherings to really, address your issues and find ways for you to get more involved in the community, as well as for us just to do all the other administrative stuff that we need to do. For the fact that the current state that we're in, this is a great opportunity for us to connect virtually for the time being. So if you are interested in connecting, either to do an orientation as a new member or just connect as a member to find out more what's going on, you can certainly send me an email, and I will, can follow up by getting you, scheduled for a meeting or whatever. You can send that to info@patimebank.org. Again, that's info@patimebank.org. And then, yeah, we could set up a time to meet. I think this could be an opportunity to do kind of an outside-the-box orientation, but it's really important for us to get that face-to-face connection. As I was talking about before, the whole mission is really to love your neighbor, and in order to do that, you still have to have a level of trust with one another. So we really like to have a time to sit down and talk to people and help them understand what the time bank is all about, and how they can get involved. So we would love to connect with you that way. So again, just shoot me an email, and we'll schedule time to meet virtually for the time being and get you more involved in the program.
Right. So on our website, patimebank.org, you'll see information about us, our community partners, events, although we have very limited events until we have approval to start meeting again. And you can see in the upper right hand corner to log in, and that brings you to our Community Weaver website. Then you'll see on the left join, where you would enter in your information. And then there's a few other steps, including the orientation David talked about, and signing our code of conduct, right? The mutual respect and valuing every person and there's a form to sign, and there's dues, but they're on a sliding scale. So we really welcome anyone from the community to apply. We would love to help you join our community and help build a better community in Phoenixville.
Yeah, for sure. This is also a good opportunity for a fundraising pitch. But yeah, I think again, I'm trying to stress that I think our community is really going to have some serious needs in the next couple of months. So I think the best way you can give initially, if you're not a member, is to join. Become a member. If you have need, for sure, we want to take care of your needs first before asking you to make a financial contribution through membership. But then also, yeah, I mean, we have other giving opportunities. I think, right, Diana, that for just giving to the organization as well. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Well, we do just outright donations. We did receive 2 grants, one from the Quest for the Best Foundation to help us get our new office set up for $2,100, and it requires matching funds. And also, we were very fortunate to receive another grant from the Phoenixville Community Health Foundation for $1,500. That's for helping us do board development and this visioning and education. And so again, it requires matching funds. And so we've been consistently building up that match since December in our annual appeal. And so that's where any donations from February would help us. So it's like your any donation you make, it's doubled through the grants that we've received.
Right. Yeah, we've been receiving some donations. I've been seeing them over the last few weeks, so we really appreciate the ones that are coming in, and we'd love you to keep giving because, like I said, I think there's going to be some tremendous needs over the next several months. Our community is getting older at moving in, which is fantastic, but that said, there's a community that has a lot of needs, and then it's also getting younger in a lot of ways, like younger families like us that are moving in that also have some needs, like childcare and stuff like that we were talking about. So there's definitely going to be a lot of needs over the next several months, so give if you can.